Welcome back to New England Living. I'm Rachel Holt. Up next, we're checking out Newport's famed Castle Hill Inn with executive chef Jennifer Backman. Not a bad backdrop we have here. Chef Jen, we are at Castle Hill Inn. It sits on 40 acres and it is gorgeous no matter where you look. What makes this property so special?
Well, I think you're looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's probably one of the most beautiful spots in Rhode Island, certainly in Newport. You know, there's a ton of history with the inn itself. It's isolated away from the hustle and bustle of town. It's just spectacular.
What is the history of Castle Hill Inn?
Castle Hill actually used to be the summer home of Alexander Agassiz. He was a marine biologist and he did a lot of his researches here. And actually the funny thing about that is the name of our fine dining restaurant actually comes from one of his research subjects, and that's the jellyfish, Aurelia. And that's kind of how that all ties into a bit of the history also.
As far as the accommodations go, there's so many unique offerings here, whether you're on the hill, facing the beach, or in the mansion. Where can people stay?
So in the mansion, we have 7 rooms. One is the Terrace suite, one is the Lighthouse suite. We also have 2 rooms at the top of the chalet. We have harbor houses, and we also have some beach houses, which are really beautiful, and they have private beaches as you're walking up the drive.
Describe one of these beach houses for us, because the view, it really will not get too much better than that.
It really doesn't. You have your private beach like right out back. You have the fireplaces and the big soaking tubs. They're gorgeous.
When you're here, you're really getting the best of both worlds. We're on 40 acres. There's 33 rooms here, which really gives you a sense of privacy when you're staying here. At the same time, we are so close to downtown Newport. What makes this place so special?
I think probably because you can have the best of both worlds. You know, you can be secluded and really enjoy this property almost as your own little private getaway, but you can also easily access downtown. We have a boat launch that can take guests in and out of town, so you can have a night out if you want to do that as well.
So with that, I took a short walk down to the pier and hopped aboard the Mistress, the inn's private boat launch, for a quick trip around Castle Hill Cove. Not a bad day for a boat ride.
Beautiful day for a boat ride.
Nice to
Welcome
meet you.
aboard.
Thank you so much. This shuttle starts from the inn and it goes to downtown Newport. How long does that take?
It's probably about a 20-minute run.
Okay, that's not bad. Not a bad way to travel,
No.
right?
No, and it's comfortable. You get to see a little bit of the waterfront.
What are some of the highlights that you'll see along the way?
Heading in toward Newport, we'll come up to the Kennedy compound area, and we'll also go by Fort Adams.
And you get to skip the traffic that way too, especially
Yes.
in the summer, right?
And no park. You don't have to worry about parking.
Okay, this is the way to travel, I think.
Yes.
Go to Captain Tom.
These are prime waters where the rum runners used to come in.
Oh.
These little coves back in the day. It's pretty neat. A lot of history here.
We're right on the water here. We have boats going by. We can walk to this amazing lighthouse that's on the property. What is the maritime history of Newport?
I think looking at the location, you know, it's the quintessential spot to really see all the races. You know, you can see the America's Cup right here from the lawn. With the lighthouse being over 125 years old, I mean, it's just, we're rooted in history.
Posting up in one of those lawn chairs, I could be happy doing that for hours, and I'm sure a lot of guests could, but what are some of those other activities that we can find here?
You can definitely sit in one of the beautiful Adirondack chairs and watch the sailboats go by. There's numerous places that you can go and hide away and see some beautiful sights. You can go and see our new beehives, so we have a ton of stuff for guests to do.
What I really like is you don't have to stay here to enjoy this property. You can come, you can check out the lighthouse, and of course you can come here for the dining.
Absolutely.
Which is a scene in itself. What makes the dining scene here so special?
We really take into account like where we are, and we focus on coastal New England cuisine, you know, so we try to bring in ingredients from, you know, as nearby as we can and treat them with authenticity and freshness.
This is fine dining at its finest, and the view that goes along with it, to go with the amazing food and the drinks that you're getting here, can't beat it. Describe the concept of Aurelia.
Aurelia is our newly re-envisioned fine dining restaurant. So it is a 6-course tasting menu. I would describe it more of it as an experience as opposed to just a tasting menu. You're not coming out for dinner, you're coming out for the whole experience, whether or not you do wine pairings with it or non-alcoholic pairings or you add a cheese cart to it. It's just elaborate, it's beautiful.
You have the fine dining experience, but you also have the lawn terrace, which is a little more casual, a little more coastal.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to experience Castle Hill, you know, because it is a bit more approachable. You can get your classic fare, you can get your New England chowder, and you can get your lobster rolls, but we're still featuring those local ingredients. You know, we have some beautiful salads on the menu that are going to evolve with the season. So, you know, as tomatoes come into season and as peaches come and, you know, they come and they go, we're going to evolve with that, and you can really taste that on the menu.
You're really focused on those local seasonal ingredients, so much so that just steps away from the restaurant, you're sometimes finding your food for the night at Castle Hill Garden.
We are. You know, we like to say it's meters, not miles away. I'd love to show you the garden if you'd be interested.
Let's go check it out.
Awesome.
A quick stroll down from the main mansion, we found ourselves at the inn's own private gardens.
So now we're here in the garden. This is where you get a lot of those fresh ingredients, and we're just steps away from the restaurant. So pretty convenient for a chef.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
What are some of those seasonally driven things that you focus on when it comes to the garden?
You know, that evolves with the season. Definitely lots of fresh herbs and flowers. We like to garnish with a lot of just fresh, bright ingredients to kind of give the dishes a little extra pop. And then as many vegetables as we can.
How big of a help is it as an executive chef to have this as a resource just steps away from where you work?
It's a dream. You know, it's a dream, and it definitely, I mean, it gives all the chefs so much inspiration as to what we're gonna do for that day. You know, if it's not on the menu or, you know, maybe we just have a small plot of it, we can run that as an addition for the day and really just feature what's happening right now.
As far as what you're growing right now, what are we seeing in this garden? Because it's looking pretty good right now.
It is, it's definitely great. So I mean, we definitely have some fresh herbs and, you know, some of the blossoms that I was telling you about that we like to garnish our dishes with. We have some alyssum and we have some mustard greens here, some pansies, parsley of course.
Castle Hill Inn has really become a foodie destination, whether you're staying here, whether you're visiting for the day. Ultimately, what kind of experience are you hoping that diners can take away?
Ultimately, we just want it to be memorable. We hope that our food has a sense of place, and when you're here, that you're really experiencing like what that means and being in a coastal New England restaurant, and hopefully you're tasting the freshness of the ingredients, you know, that are grown right here.